Going through a breakup is absolutely devastating. It is heartbreaking, whether you were the one who got broken up with or whether you were the one who initiated the breakup. It's really, really tough, and it can be easy and very tempting to get into very destructive patterns, partying, rebounding, overeating, or something else that isn't constructive for your life. So in this video, I want to give you some tips and tools to how to deal with a breakup in a healthy way. First of all, when you get broken up with, you need to allow yourself to feel your feelings. It can feel very tempting, as I said, to just ignore your feelings and distract yourself away from them, but be mindful that they will catch up with you eventually. There is no running away from these feelings. There is no running away from the grief. You have to grieve. So you better just dive in, start grieving, feel your feelings, lean on friends and family and your support systems, cry if you need to, talk to a professional if you need to. What happens if you don't do this is that you will probably be able to forget about the breakup by distracting yourself with something destructive, let's say a rebound for a little while, but then eventually it will catch up with you. You can't keep running forever. So you might as well face the dragon and get the grief over with. So the more you feel your feelings, the quicker you're gonna be done with the grief. A good tip is to cut off all contact with the person. It's really not easy for you to move on from somebody if they're still in your inbox, if they're still DMing you, if you're still meeting up, or if you're still hanging out with a group of friends. I know that sometimes you can't go fully no contact because you have children together or pets together, but in those cases, I would say minimal contact, maybe even have a friend or someone you know be the mediator between the two of you. Don't be in contact with each other. I made a great video about going no contact. I'm gonna link to it up here. It's really just the best interest for you and for the other person. Eventually, if you really do want to become friends and be back in touch, you can do that, but you both need to heal and get over each other first. So go no contact, focus on yourself. If necessary, you can even block or unfollow. That's normally not necessary, but if you find yourself gravitating towards the phone, wanting to message or call them all the time, it can be a helpful tool for you to delete their number or to completely block them so you can't contact them. It can also be the other way around, that they keep contacting you even though you've said that you want to go no contact, and then you can let them know in an emotionally mature way that I need to block you because I need this peace for myself in order to move on from this relationship. Eventually, I'll unblock and we can be back in touch, but for now, this is how it's got to be. Lean on your support system, your family members that you really trust, the friends you have that you are really close with. Lean on them, talk to them, use them. And I especially say this to the men out there because women are very good at using their friends to vent, to cry in front of, and to really share this deep emotional pain with. But what I often see with my clients is that the men are very lonely during breakups. They don't talk to their friends in the same way that women do in general. So if you're a man, try to open up. And if you don't want to open up with your friends, talk to a professional, talk to a relationship coach. You're welcome to reach out to me. There are some details below in the description, or to a therapist. Just have someone that you can vent to, that you can talk to, because it's a very lonely experience. You go from being a pair, you go from being with somebody all the time, in contact with somebody all the time, to being out of contact with them, and that can feel very, very lonely. So make sure you get that contact and connection. Next, it's really important that you don't let your body go. Your body needs sufficient sleep, sufficient nutrition, and exercise. And I know this is just such standard advice, but especially in times like these, it's really important. The sleep one is the bare minimum. You have to prioritize your sleep. And I know it can be difficult to sleep when you are in this state, but you need to do whatever you can to fall asleep and sleep around 8 hours. Some people, they go work out right before sleep, so they're just exhausted. So I don't know what works for you. Other people use meditation or breath work. And then eat a nutritious diet. It makes you feel good about yourself, because another thing in a breakup is that your self-esteem it can take a toll on your self-esteem, and you can feel really insecure and bad about yourself. Maybe you have thoughts such as, oh, I'll never meet somebody. I'm not good enough to meet someone good again. My ex was the only good person who would ever want to be with me. Those kind of negative, destructive thoughts, they're very normal, but they're not true. Believe me, you will fall in love again. You will meet somebody else, and there is someone out there who's just as good, if not even better than your ex. So these thoughts, please don't believe them. Please don't believe them. The thoughts you think when you're in a very, very low state, you should never believe them. They're lying to you. Which brings me to my next point, which is about self-care and healing. It's so important that you learn how to take care of yourself in times like these, that you're gentle with yourself. Maybe you start journaling. Maybe you do something for yourself that you really appreciate, that you really like, that makes you feel loved. You learn how to set boundaries with people. Just treat yourself so good, because now you are your own relationship. All that love that you were pouring into the other person, you now need to pour all that love into yourself, and all of that focus should be on you. You can go get your nails done, your hair done, facials, massages, all of that stuff. But it also just means being really kind to yourself and staying in with a good book or watching a good movie, eating some candy that you love, really nurturing that inner child of yours. So ask yourself, what do I really like to do? What really recharges me? What makes me happy? And then do those things. Again, not to a degree that it's destructive. So let's say what makes you really happy is getting drunk. My advice is not that you should be getting drunk every day. You should do it within a measurement of what is healthy. But you do need to take your own feelings into consideration and give yourself a break as well. I recommend mindfulness and meditation. I have a great self-love meditation, and I'll link to it here. You can use that. That's a really great way of connecting with yourself and your inner child and figuring out what it actually is you need in the moment. All of this will reduce your anxiety, and you need to give yourself that time to heal. You're not going to heal in one day. It's going to take a little while, so just be patient with yourself. And now what I'm about to say, you shouldn't do it until you're ready. But when you are ready, take some time to reflect on the relationship. What lessons were there for you? What was good in the relationship? What was bad in the relationship? What would you never want to repeat? Are there areas that you need to work on in order to be a better partner for the next person that you're going to be with? You can do this with a professional as well, or you can journal, or you can just simply sit and think about it, reflect on it, go on some long walks and think about what could I have done better? What could they have done better? At the end of the day, the relationship is over, and now you just need to take whatever goodness you can from this experience so it can help you in your future life. And it's really important at this step that you don't idealize the past, because sometimes when we break up with somebody, there comes a stage where we start idealizing everything that happened, and we forget everything that was bad in the relationship. We only remember the good times. That's not a realistic picture or narrative of what actually happened in the relationship. So try to be really objective. If you need to, you can ask your friends and family. If you sort of start forgetting and you start idealizing the experience, ask them, do you remember what made me happy? What was I unhappy with? What were the good times, the bad times? Just to get more of an objective view, and avoid rebound relationships. Yes, it works. I'm not going to lie to you. It works. Rebounding works, but only for a limited amount of time. Then it's just going to make you feel even more sad than you were before. Because the new person will never be able to fully replace the person that you love. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the new person unless they know that they're a rebound. They might develop feelings for you. The thing that can happen when you rebound is that you very quickly get into a relationship like dating experience with the other person, because you're so used to being in a relationship and being a partner to somebody, and that's very confusing for the other person. But I'm not even saying it from their perspective. I'm saying it from your perspective. It's not healthy for you. You're not ready for it. Take the time to grieve. Take the time to process everything, and then eventually when you're ready, go out there and start dating again. I I recommend that you give all your energy to yourself instead, and you focus on new goals and new opportunities. This can be work goals, it can be fitness goals, it can be health goals, it can be anything that would be fun and beneficial for you. Maybe you can go on a trip, travel somewhere that you've always wanted to go, start studying a new language, do something that's benefiting you in your life, and put all your energy into that instead, because healing will take time. So don't push yourself to be fully healed, especially if you've been in a very long-term relationship. Then it's going to take time to process everything and get used to living life by yourself again without this person. But there's a silver lining. Many people experience when they go through a breakup that they sort of rediscover themselves, that they feel like they actually lost themselves a bit in the relationship in order to become a twosome. And now that they're single, they're regaining and rediscovering parts of themselves that they forgot existed. And that can be a really, really fun and exciting and pleasurable experience. Dealing with a breakup is undeniably tough, but it can also be a very transformative experience. So use this time to your advantage. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.